Hey guys, what's up? It's Gabby and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have an IKEA DIY hack. We are going to be DIYing this IKEA KALLAX into this West Elm inspired TV stand. So if you're interested in learning how I was able to do it, definitely keep on watching. Alright, so this IKEA DIY is super simple and easy. I was able to transform this IKEA KALLAX, which was an old DIY that I did. I saw this West Elm TV stand and I fell in love with it. However, I didn't fall in love with the price tag. It's $1,700, which for me, I'm not in that stage of life yet to be spending that kind of money on a TV stand. So what better thing to do than to DIY it? The main star of the DIY was this pull wrap, which I picked up from Home Depot. I actually picked it up online and it delivered to me within a couple of days. The first thing I did was I measured out the pull wrap to just kind of get it ready to start cutting using my brand new miter saw. I've never used it before. First thing I'm gonna do is cut the pull wrap using this miter saw. I have never used one in my life, so this should be interesting. I'm gonna go ask for Michael's help. Be right back. Now that I got the miter saw all figured out, it was time to start cutting the pull wrap. So my pull wrap ended up being 96 inches by 12 inches and the TV stand doors are 13 by 13 inches. So the first thing I did was I cut out 5 13 by 12 pieces of pull wrap, and I'm using the fifth panel that I created to add more pull wrap to the doors, if that makes sense. So all I did for this was I sliced off an inch the pull wrap, which ended up actually being 2 of those little panel things on there, and then I just glued the whole thing using construction adhesive. I left the pull wrap to dry on the door fronts for a while, and in the meantime I started working on priming the IKEA KALLAX TV stand. The key to painting IKEA furniture is to prime it. I ended up using this primer. Before painting, I went ahead and cleaned the KALLAX, and then I applied about 2 coats of primer, and I applied it using a high density foam roller. This is just gonna allow you to have the cleanest paint finish possible. I went in with about 2 coats. By then, the pull wrap had adhered to the door front, so I was able to prime that as well. I just went in with a smaller paintbrush to paint in between the crevices of the pull wrap, and that worked great. It was very tedious though. Okay, so I finally finished applying all of the paint. Shout out to Michael for coming to help me. We ended up having to use these little brushes. Can you tell which one Michael was using? To get into the crevices of them. And so this took quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it was very tedious to get into the cracks, but it's done. Definitely play some music, get a partner, have some fun doing it because it's a little exhausting. So I'm gonna let that dry. While that's drying, I'm gonna start working on painting the TV stand. Let me show you the paint. Okay, so I ended up picking up this bear color in the color Swiss Coffee. It's just this nice creamy color. So after everything had dried, I went ahead and covered the whole thing with some water-based polyurethane. It's really important that you use water-based polyurethane because it's not going to turn yellow on you over time. Also, if you end up choosing a paint that has sheen to it, you can skip this step. I personally went with the dead flat paint, so you can do both, whichever works for you. Now that the TV stand was completely painted, it is time to attach the hardware. It's the next weekend and I haven't touched this TV stand at all. So the last thing I did with this TV stand is I painted it with some polyurethane. I had accidentally ended up getting dead flat paint, and so the texture of this TV stand was very, very rough. But this polyurethane totally fixed that issue. It's definitely a lot smoother, and it will be a lot easier to maintain throughout the years. So the agenda for today is to finish up this TV stand. I don't have much more left. All I have to do is attach the doors and attach all of the hardware that I purchased for it. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I got. So the Inspo TV stand has gold finishes on it, but I decided that I wanted mine to be black. So I picked up these black legs from Amazon. I love how basic and just like simple they are. I also love how thin the legs are. I feel like it's just gonna make the TV stand look a lot more modern. And then for pulls, I decided to go with these black ones from Amazon. They match the color of the legs perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach this hardware to the TV stand. And then once the hardware is attached, I'm gonna go ahead and put the doors onto the TV stand. And then from there, we'll be done. Extra support, I'm going to add a support leg. I left the leg plate on here. This is like the middle of the TV stand, if you can't tell. I left the leg plate on here and I picked up this wooden leg. At some point I painted it white, I guess, but you can pick these up at any home improvement stores. I also picked up these levelers because this leg is slightly shorter than the rest of the legs. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. So I finished putting on the hardware and it's looking so good. I'm so excited. Now I'm gonna go ahead and place the door faces in the actual unit and then I'll be done. So I actually have, on my last video, I went into depth on how to attach these doors to the TV stand, so definitely check that out. But you can, follow the IKEA instructions. They're really not that bad, guys. But if they are, check out my other video. I go into detail on how I was able to attach the doors to the IKEA TV stand. All right, so as far as my entertainment setup, I had a lot of questions on that on my last video. I will link all of my entertainment setup down below for you guys if you're interested. But for this TV stand, we went ahead and purchased a 55-inch Samsung flat screen TV. I love Samsung. I think it's such great quality. All of their equipment and tech really hold their value and really just, they're very reliable, so I like it. We also went ahead and added some Philips Hue lights to the back of them. So before we mount the TV, we went ahead and just added these Philips Hue LED lights. They have adhesive on the back of it, but we just reinforced it with some clear tape. I highly recommend it. These look so nice and they give your TV just a nice ambient light while you watch it.
As far as our surround sound, we also went with Samsung, of course.
Comes with a separate subwoofer, I think it's called. Don't quote me on that. And it's honestly great. It really brought up our TV watching experience. 10 out of 10 recommend. We mounted everything using this commercial electric TV mount. It's fully mobile and I 10 out of 10 recommend it because we can move the TV over to face the kitchen and watch TV from there. If you guys want to try this DIY out, or if you have tried this DIY out, definitely share it with me over on my Instagram. If you also want to see some more DIYs for me on a more frequent basis, definitely check out my TikTok. I upload on that pretty consistently, so definitely check me out over there. And if you enjoy all things home decor, DIY, room makeovers, and everything else in between, definitely be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the great videos I have coming soon to you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!